Hey Virgo, welcome. October 2024 will bring career and money matters into the spotlight for you. We're going to break down how some of the month of October looks. Don't forget, we have an eclipse in the sign of Libra, which is your money and resources house. So we'll get really into this energy of this eclipse, especially for you. Well, if you're new to my channel, though, welcome for the first time. My name is Lori Lothian, and I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses, fixed stars, and minor asteroids. Give me a try. Hit the like button, subscribe. I think you'll like it here. Now, the other thing I want to share very briefly before we get into your sign is every single year, this in the fall, I start to produce my content of my 2024 videos for each separate sign. These are up to 2 hours long each. This year is going to also include a breakdown by quarter, each quarter of the year, chronologically, as well as a guidebook on your sign, a PDF guidebook with some of my guidance and ideas for how you can handle the year ahead that I will be writing for you, not an AI. If you like this kind of content in its minuscule form of my monthly all signs, well, wait till you get your big all signs guide for the 25 year ahead. It's going to be a doozer, guys, 2025. So check it out below. It's my pre-sale price. I'm producing the content in October. The sale ends October 31st. It will be received by you by mid-November in your inbox. I look forward to hopefully having you aboard on some of my videos. So don't forget to give me a try by liking and subscribing. And Virgo, let's talk about the sky for you. Number one, you are looking at a month in which the eclipse is happening in your second house. And normally I don't start with an eclipse in the second house. I probably would have started with some general themes about planetary motion. But I bring this up for you because this eclipse is so supported by Jupiter in your 10th house. It is incredibly powerful that the way eclipses make changes in your savings, your earnings, your financial wellness is through a benefic flow of a trine from Jupiter. So don't be afraid of these second house eclipses. If you're listening, by the way, Virgo, for your sun, it's about your career, your moon, about your home and body. But if you're listening for your rising and sign, it's really about everything in your life. So, but all signs, please listen, the delineation is sort of the same. And having this second house energetic, second from the sun, second from the moon, second from your rising sign, eclipse, October the 2nd, flowing to Jupiter is an indication that something begins to happen in early October on the 2nd, and it may unfold over the 3 or 4 months that follow or longer, that you're going to see a change in the way you make money and the way you succeed in your career. And it's a solar eclipse and it's a fresh energy, a portal to the new. So we'll talk more about it when we break it down in the weekly part of this video, but know that that for me, for you, is one of the best things and the most biggest things happening in the sky in the month of October. In October, we will look at Mercury, the Lord of your sign, the ruling planet, the guiding planet for you, as he moves through both the signs of Libra and the sign of Scorpio. Well, in Libra, he's in a minor dignity and he's in the house of your possessions, your earnings, your savings, your spending, and your self-worth and self-value. This resourceful, financially resourceful house is where Mercury can be quite adept at helping you market and sell and communicate in ways that increases your financial wellness. So know that September the 26th to the 12th of October, this is where he is traveling. And when he's moving through that second house, it's really also quite often a time where people sell or buy a new possession. It's the I possess house. And you may possess something new because you want to market it, buy it, sell it. And, it's really good also for communicating with bosses, authority figures, and workmates in a very harmonious way. So again, October 1st to the 12th, what could you buy, sell, or possess? Anything, a car, a house, an object, a piece of furniture. Those things are important to you, again, through to October the 12th. October the 13th to November the 1st, Mercury will move into the sign of Scorpio, which is your third house. Now, he is a patron protector of travelers, and short distance travel, like a weekend getaway or a domestic travel within your country, can occur for you October 13th to November the 1st. And he's good for that. He can be very protective, especially if you want to make it a friend girls trip or a friend's trip or a trip to see a sibling or cousin, aunt, and uncle, or a trip connected to romance. The highlight would be the 13th of October to the 16th, when both Venus and Mercury are in Scorpio, your third house. Keep that in mind. Ideal pre-planning for romantic getaways, girl trips, fun with cousins, nieces, and nephews, or a younger sibling, and travel, October 13th to November the 1st. Now, we're going to move away from the broad delineation. Oh, and if you want to sign up for a short distance, like a webinar, a seminar, begin to study something that's like a skills-based class of some kind, check out my Sky Reader course. Then Mercury helps you get that off the ground October 13th to November 1st. And by the way, Sky Reader starts on the 28th. In my description box is information about the class. 6 weeks long. Learn astrology. Be an astrologer. Time your best life. All right, now Virgo, the other thing to mention here is Venus. Venus is the lesser benefic, and she's moving through your second house. And she's doing that September 22nd to October 16th. This is your money house. This is your resources. This is your earnings. She's always a benefic, even when she's in a sign of her detriment. And quite possibly, you're going to see an increase in your financial well-being, and maybe even in the earnings from your career, maybe a raise, a promotion, a bonus, a new job. Something better is happening in the way you make money related to your career between September the 22nd and October the 16th. So because she's also about the face, and she's, did I say the right time? Let me double check my dates. Oh, skip it. Yeah. Oh, she's moving through Scorpio. September 22nd to October 16th, your third house. Yeah. Good for leisure travel, distance travel, fun getaways, that kind of stuff. I'm hoping that I didn't mix it up, because I'm really been recording a lot of videos today. I'm pretty sure I started with Mercury. Yes, I did. Okay. So between September 22nd and October 16th, Venus is in Scorpio, traveling through your third house. Okay. Forget about the possessions, forget about the money. I can't go back and re-record this, guys, if I'm going to get it out in a timely manner. So apologies. Okay, I apologize. September 22nd to October 16th, Venus is moving in Scorpio. And what she offers you in this particular placement is she offers you leisure travel, getaways with friends, fun times with, I don't know, anybody you want to get down with. And it's Mercury, October the 13th to November the 1st, okay, who is traveling through the sign of Scorpio. So there's that window of the 13th to the 16th where it's your ideal dream getaway with the romantic partner or your love partner or a sibling or an aunt, uncle, cousin. Venus likes to socialize, and the third house is your neighbors and neighborhood and the bars and restaurants, etc. And if you want to date online, it's good for online dating. So online dating, September 22nd to October 16th, friends and fun and parties in the neighborhood, going to social events, completing writing projects, being more visible in the online world, having a little glow up in the online social media world, if that's a part of your story, can be very, very good for you. And if you want to take any kind of trip between September the 22nd and October 16th, it's simply fun. Okay, trips bring joy, fun, play, and pleasure. On October 17th, Venus moves into Sagittarius through to November the 10th. From October 17th to November 10th, therefore, you are looking at matters to do with beauty and love in the home. Often people decorate their home during a transit like this, buy new paintings, furniture, shift it up, beautify the home in a new way. But also sometimes a friend may live with you who's a female, come to visit you for a while, October 17th to November 10th. And finally, October 17th to November 10th is really good for selling a home. Venus can bring you good luck and prosperity in matters to do with home, property, land, and real estate. Similarly, could offer you the opportunity to buy a home, especially with the eclipse in the house of possessions. And then Venus in your fourth house of home and land and real estate means prosperity, luck, and ease regarding buying and selling of real estate, land, home, and property. Open door for opportunity there, October 17th to November the 10th. And better relationships with a sibling, one younger than you, can also happen, where you can smooth out the waters of that relationship if it needs to be smoothed out. Keep that in mind. Mars is moving through the sign of Cancer, and Cancer is the part of the sky that is your house of large social groups and your social networks, your larger extended social tribe, as well as colleagues, coworkers, and things to do with the way you create career gains from the 10th house, not just the money, but also the perks, the rewards, the raises, the accolades, the red carpet, the gains of the 10th. So when we see that Mars there, not just for the month of October, but indeed September 4th to November the 4th, and then again and again coming back from a retrogradation January 6th to April the 18th. This is almost like you can't ignore it. This kind of long duration of Mars in your 11th house is important. And what Mars is saying is time to exit stage left from friendships and groups of belonging that aren't really your people. Now, I've seen it look like in real life clients' charts, the kind of thing where you're separating because a friend moves away, or you're moving away from those friendship circles because you're having a relocation geographically. But it can also mean an end of a friendship in a snipping, cutting way. And October, the whole month, provides an opportunity for a friendship, if it's necessary to end, will end. Keep that in mind. Or a relationship with an elder sibling can have a fracture or a break in the month of October. Jupiter will go retrograde in the sign of Gemini, your 10th house of career, on October the 9th. That's through to February. Job opportunities, bosses, employment situations from the past reemerge to bring goodness to you. You've been plowing ahead with a lot of luck here in your career zone since May, and now you're going to take a step back, and it kind of can rest on your laurels. You can go inward a bit and just pause and like hit that plateau for a while, because you'll be back in gear with more direct success and luck in the career zone of your sky, including attempted raises and promotions after February through to June. So rest easy and enjoy the ride of an inward sense of satisfaction and joy and enjoyment and gratitude for whatever's going on in the work, career, and reputation space after the October 9th retrograde through to next February. Pluto moves into direct motion on October the 11th, and he has been retrograding in your Capricorn 29-degree 5th house. He started to move into that part of your sky September 1st. And when he turns around October 11th, he says simply, whatever lessons you've been learning about sexuality, love, romance, betrayal, the darker side of sexuality, yes, the RAPE word, and other dark stories, also disappointment, death, and rebirth regarding things to do with fertility, pregnancy, yes, miscarriages, yes, it happens, difficult and really regenerative energy around relationships to your own children, that is coming to a final completion. It is ending. And as Pluto moves out to move direct October 11th to November 19th, you're finalizing the lessons and you're taking the rewards from that story. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the month ahead. We're going to break it down bit by bit. And I'm going to show you a picture to do that. You know, when you have to record back-to-back videos, and I'm going to only complain to the hardworking, service-oriented Virgos of the world, and your voice is going, your mind is going with it. Yes, it should be a chocolate break, but I'm on the AIP protocol and as autoimmune protocol. I'm trying not to have that much sugar these days, and chocolate has sugar in it. All right, chocolate bars too. Anyway, this is your sky. I hope I'm recording, and you're Virgo. Let's break it down chronologically. Now, you know, the first week is about that eclipse and Mercury in the heart of the sun on the 1st of October, and also the last day, the 30th of September. That's a highlight. And so know that you have this October 2nd eclipse right here. It's going to happen at 10 degrees of Libra. And in this zone of your sky, the narratives are quite simple. You are like letting go, surrendering, and releasing, and deepening into a greater satisfaction with your self-worth and self-belief. But at the same time, you also have potential new beginnings and increases in the way you make money. This started, by the way, last year, October the 14th. And now here we have another new beginning. Because of Mercury in this one, in the heart of the sun and with the sun, it's really good for commercial success. And it's really good in the flow to Jupiter by whole sign for increased opportunity, through your own ideas, the way you speak and communicate with bosses, higher ups, the way you can be available to move into a greater feeling of financial success in your career. And it's not just the eclipse of October 2nd, but it rolls out over the months and even up to the year that follows. And I like it. I like it a lot for you. And Jupiter is protecting that career and money story. So most people don't like eclipses, but for you, it seems fortifying and strengthening of career and money success. And the beginning is the first week of October. And because of the Cazimi here as well, in the heart of the sun, Mercury, South Node Cazimi on September 30th into October 1st, it's as if you really have to deeply surrender into the process of being successful and lucky in your career. In some way, you Virgos, you work so hard for everything you get, you don't believe you could just land on your doorstep and you could just rest a bit. And there's almost a feeling of wanting to rest a little bit and allow yourself to hustle less and yet still be prosperous. Hustle less and be prosperous nonetheless. All right. While the eclipse is going on and the first week is unfolding, we still see some other things going on that are quite juicy. Mars, the god of change and endings and severing in the house of friendships and groups of belonging, trining your marriage house where Saturn sits. Now, ultimately, your marriage partnership and your long-term relationships or the partner you're with has been heavy, melancholic, or controlling, or there's just been a strain on the relationship as it tests kicks the tires and see if this is worth continuing with. And you're being in the Saturn transit till February of 2026, but this is a nice energy of somehow shifting it away from the stress points into something more harmonious and lucky in business and long-term love relationships, as well as the way you relate to your clients, audience, and marketplace, should that be relevant to you. And then as well, with this trine here, it could look like some really great career opportunities regarding opportunities coming through legal negotiations, contracts, and you offer, because even though you're doing well already, the Juno eclipse could open up a new contractual agreement in a work setting where you're going to take on more responsibility, power, or even a new company or job itself. Keep that in mind. Mars will trine Venus as well in that first week. And this creates a great trine energy. You're feeling the Venus part of it coming into alignment around the 4th of October. And this opens up a very lucky time frame, that first week of October. Okay, what do you want to do with it, right? It can lead to an opportunity for travel or study connected to career gains or to work opportunities, but also because it involves your significant other house for long-term love stories, and Venus is in a travel house and Mars is in a house of groups, it could be an opportunity to travel with your partner and a group of friends, or travel with your partner in such a way that it may be short distance, but involve a lot of social activity and a lot of connection to either groups of belonging for you and your partner, or an elder sibling. And that kind of sweet sky in the first week of October looks really easy and really fun. And it could just mean a lot of social activity with friends and your significant other close to home in the neighborhood right here, where your significant other, your neighborhood people, your large groups of friends are having a really social time. But it's a trine and it brings luck and flow and ease and blessings. It's not just one thing. And basically, with Venus still the lord of your second house, is possibly going to end up looking like, even though it's just fun social life activities that first week of October, maybe it can also end up bringing you some financial opportunities as well through some of the social events and opportunities through the social life that you have the first week of October. And if you're unemployed and looking for a job, then the social life in the first week of October could tip you off to a new opportunity, for word of mouth or a friendship group telling you about it. Now, Mercury squares Mars, and this is also happening that first week. This is around the 4th of October. Mercury is the god of news and information, marketing and selling in a house of possessions, and he is going to square Mars here. There could be a conflict, a verbal conflict with a friend or an elder sibling. When push comes to shove and shove comes to push, Mercury has the upper hand. And the way he can negotiate or speak to a difficult elder sibling or friendship situation is superior and can lead to harmonious resolution of that conflict around the time of October the 4th. Also, there may be something going on with a colleague or coworker and a conflict there as well, but your speech powers are tremendous and you can resolve the conflict around October the 4th. October the 7th, the 9th, Venus trines Mars, as I mentioned. That's a part of the grand trine. It really starts up October the 4th. And then October the 7th and 9th, it's continuing to blow up because then Venus gets into a beautiful flow to Mars. Now, What I want to say about Venus flowing to Mars is that's a mutual reception. Venus and Mars is house. Mars and Venus is, I mean, Venus to Mars. What am I talking about? Yeah, Venus is in Mars's house. That's what I want. It's a partial reception. So Venus wants to do something to support Mars. Venus wants to tell Mars what she can do to help him. I kind of want you to think of October 7th to 9th. Like, how is it possible that your ideas, your communication, your social media life, your dating life, your circle of friends, your daily life in general can really support some significant positive changes in the way you make your money in your career. It could be as simple as choosing to be more networky and social with colleagues and coworkers in order for your greater career success to happen. You're kind of pulling out your dilettante socialite energetically, okay, in order to receive some kind of blessings in your career gains themselves, because you're going to be passionate and dedicated to making money with that Mars transit, or getting your career gains to increase, as well as kicking out friends or friends leaving if they're needing to leave. Mercury trines Jupiter as well around October 7th to the 9th. Now Mercury and Jupiter, right, are in a flow. This is beautiful. This is an air trine. It brings luck. There's a spot of light and career blessings and luck. If you're looking for a job and you need a job, apply, send in your resume, do the thing that gives you the lucky break. Because that Mercury trine Jupiter, October 7th to the 9th, is like a once or twice in every 12-year cycle event. So grab it while it's here, because Jupiter needs to be in your 10th house to receive Mercury's blessings in your second. And if some of you want to get into a new job, that's going to be ideal. And if you're in an existing job, get ready for some positive feedback about the work you do, or some good news, or some increase in your money in the current job where you're already getting a raise or promotion, or some kind of accolade or reward. And again, that lucky sky is October 7th to the 9th. October 13th to the 14th, we have October 13th to the 14th, we have a trine between Jupiter and the Sun. Let me clear the hot mess in the sky. I have made a mess. So Jupiter, Sun, it's the same thing that Mercury did on the 7th to the 9th. Now on the 13th to the 14th of October, it's the Sun's term to consolidate what Mercury started. Mercury gave you the news, the negotiations, the deal making. The Sun solidifies it, makes it real, brings it to light, brings it into form. It is a sun that is barely outside of that eclipse. Remember that, okay? So it's an energy signature for some realistic outpicturing of career and money and reputation success. If you're not in a career, you could announce you're going to get married under this. Anyone who is a Virgo, who is not in a major career story, or even in addition to it, this could look like announcements of wedding bells, announcements of marriages coming through your sky somewhere in your marriage, your wedding, you're announcing, or someone around you is announcing it, your partner's announcing it at the top of the sky. We're getting married, everyone. So there's that vibe too for some of you Virgos. Keep it in mind. It's happening. It's here between October 7th and the 14th. The Sun will square Mars. Again, who's this friend? Is that an elder sibling, one above you, or is that a friend? There's some conflict with a colleague, an elder sibling, or a friend. It comes back to Mars continually squaring planets like Mercury October 4th. And here he goes again, the Sun on October 13th. So you're going to be doing battle with some person up here during the month of October. Mercury squares Pluto. Pluto at 29, Mercury at 29 of Libra. That's going to happen October 13th and 14th. That's really deep conversation about sexuality, romance, children, fertility, pregnancy, or it's a deep insight about something you wish to market or sell or possess, to do with fifth house matters. I don't know, a pleasure palace or something. Mercury and Pluto can be X-ray vision. You might have X-ray communication vision with a situation with a romantic partner or a child. And let's face it, the sex house is there, right? Sexual relationship is fifth house matters, and the babies that come from it. And there may be some very intense, very powerful conversation with a long-term love partner. Just don't forget, Saturn is going to look at that from here to consolidate or heal or bless a long-term committed love by a very critical, very emotionally revealing, very deep transformational conversation with that kind of long-term partner. If only if you have a long-term partner. It's not, to me, a dating story. And that is going to happen or with a child of yours. And that's going to happen around October 13th, 14th. By the time we move to October 14th and 15th, we see Venus doing her own gig. And I like what she's doing. So let's talk about it. So Venus will come into opposition to Algol and Uranus to start off with their heads, but also wealth. And so she has moved here. And this means that around October 14th and 15th, there could be some surprising, sudden, shocking news regarding a sibling 2 older than you or 1 younger, or connected to matters to do with spiritual faith or travel or education. And there's a sudden, shocking surprise around all of or any of those matters. But the good news is it forms a wedge to Neptune, involving your significant long-term love partner. Your significant long-term love partner, fantasies and illusions you've had about love partners since 2011, including bringing in alcoholics and crazies. Saturn, let's make it real. The realists and the fantasists are blending in the marriage house. And there's a turning point, a wedge, a breakthrough in some long-term relationship. If you have one, you could start a new one here by traveling or going into educational settings and meeting a dreamy kind of soulmate who takes you really deep. But if you're single, you go really deep into more of a spiritual union and a deeper connection, but surprisingly coming through maybe educational or travel narratives, or it happens because you and the other are traveling. October 13th to the 14th. October the 14th and the 15th, October 14th and 15th. October the 17th, Venus will sextile Pluto. So Pluto is here. She moves all the way to the last degree of Scorpio, and she talks to Pluto. And it's a sextile. What does it mean? It means that Venus is inquiring with Pluto whether we need to go into the love of power or the power of love, and how deep do we want to go? And how deep do you want to go when it comes to things to do with deep sexual and regenerative romance connected to short distance travel? It looks like a good romantic getaway for you and a significant other. It could be quite intense but powerful around October 17th. And the other way it could play out is if you're an artist or a social media type, a social media artistic project or entrepreneurial endeavor gets a real wealth glow up around October the 17th. October 22nd, Mercury will trine Saturn. Now, Mercury, we'll talk about Saturn. That's your marriage house. That's your business partner. That's your clients and audience, right? Mercury will move into the last degree of, we're going to move over here, the last degree of Scorpio, or near the middle of Scorpio, I should say. That looks like too messy to see, doesn't it? Mercury will move here and he will flow to Saturn. And when does that happen? That is happening October 22nd or so. Mercury says news and information through a younger sibling, a friend from childhood, siblings, aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews. Saturn in the setting place, unfortunately, can mean the loss of life of some elder that's significant from your larger extended family. Again, great Aunt Sue, Uncle Joe, whatever, take your pick. It can also look like something to do with communication around social media projects, writing projects, and some solidity around marketplace or contracts or agreements, especially if you're into publishing or book publishing, especially with Uranus in the 9th house, where you could really consolidate a deal, a negotiation, and a contract, perhaps in the publications area of life, or even an opportunity to appear on somebody's podcast that has legacy value and really good creds coming through around October the 22nd. The end of the month is October 23rd to the 30th. It's one big glow up. October 23rd to the 30th. Let's draw the sky in place. We're going to see a nice grand trine forming as Mars here flows to Uranus here and to Neptune here, creating a mini grand trine. They're always very gentle and fortunate energies. And gentle and fortunate doesn't mean it's not going to blast through some luck, because Uranus is shock and algal is a well star. Okay, so here's what I think. Perhaps an unexpected, shocking opportunity to travel to a foreign country, to move to a foreign country. Your partner's giving you an opportunity to travel and move to a foreign country. Your friends and allies and benefactors and elder sibling are surprising you with foreign land, foreign shore travel opportunities. You're likely to find yourself breaking through in book publishing, podcasting, sudden exciting developments regarding your career gains and your financial gains connected to higher education or legal outcomes in your favor. Mars, the god of lawsuits, sextiles Uranus in the house of courts, and you may have some greater pennies from heaven as financial gains and deal making and mediation equals your success. You may also find this mini grand trine is really good for your spiritual life, because you might lean into a surprising and shocking new spiritual community, or, it doesn't have to be like a religion, right? I consider like rehab communities like AA spiritual communities. So you might lean into a new spiritual community that surprises you but brings you great outcomes. And finally, some of it might be about him or her, the significant long-term partner in your life. And what's going on with them is surprises regarding foreign shores and foreign lands and networks of social groups or their career gains. And it's not even about you, but you're involved because you're with them. Finally, Mercury at the end of this whole story also ends up exactly opposite Algol here around October 26th to the 30th. And therefore, we get like this great arrow in the sky. Can't wait to do the week ahead for this one. And honestly, like, what is an arrow? It points to something where you need to pay attention. Mercury in your Scorpio third house is the guy with the news, the information, and the ideas in travel, skills-based learning, social media, online world, and local neighbors and neighborhood. Using information from a younger sibling, one younger than you, extended family like aunts, uncles, and cousins may surprise you on October 26th to 30th. But don't forget, Venus brought in a similar surprise energy already. You've been here before when Venus was opposite Uranus October 14th and 15th. And October 14th and 15th may be connected to events October 26th to 30th as Mercury follows up on what Venus started. This is really important to note. Female friends from childhood and female siblings may be very involved for you, especially younger siblings, but siblings in general. One older, one younger, two older. It's okay. Let me tell you something cool about this story for you guys, right? Virgos, a sibling, one older above you, two above you by age, or three above you by age, and one below you by age. All of those siblings can get mucked up in the sky in a very positive way. All right. For those of you who have a lot of siblings, look up and down for where this excitement is happening, because Mars is in the house of the sibling one older, Uranus is in the house of the sibling two older, and Saturn is in the house of the sibling three older than you. And Venus is in the house of the sibling one younger than you. All right. So thanks for listening. Don't forget, if you want to catch Sky Reader, you might catch it. It's still available. I'm recording on September 19th. It's enrollment closes probably midnight on the day before class starts, the 27th of September. But if you catch it, join me. Sky Reader, be your own astrologer, time your best life. Information on the course is in the description link below. I might keep enrollment open a couple days later before the first coaching call. I don't know. Maybe I'll let some late stragglers come in, but check below for information. Alrighty. Thanks, guys. We're almost full anyway, but if you want to jump aboard, come join us. It would be great to have you in class. And you can get my 2025 all sign videos, introduce it in the beginning, the bundle or the individuals. Get them if you like. Ciao, everyone. Bye-bye.